A lot of people say a 380 horsepower engine isn't enough motor for an NV243. We're up here at Jordanelle State Park at 6,200 feet of elevation. We got 1,300 pounds of lead. We're gonna throw it into the NV243. We're gonna show you how it performs. And me and Brody are gonna start loading some lead weight into this boat, plus the original 5,200 pounds of ballast that come with the boat. And we got a couple of people with us, so we got probably about 700 pounds of people and gear in the boat as well. So Centurion posts the NV243 at a dry weight of 5,995 pounds. And then we got a full tank of gas. The NV243 holds 70 gallons, but we'll just say another 300 pounds of fuel. But we're looking at almost 13,500 pounds total in the boat right now between dry weight on the boat, lead ballast, stock ballast, gas, and passengers. So we are going to be having to move a lot of weight with a 380 horsepower engine. That does push 405 foot-pounds of torque and is on a 2-to-1 gearing transmission. So you're getting even a little more torque out of it. It's got a lot of hole punch. I'm really excited to see how this does. I'm interested myself. I've been able to run an NV243 at a little bit lower elevation with a full crew, no issues. So we're pushing a little bit higher elevation today, 6,200 feet, one of the higher lakes here in Utah that people recreate on a lot. I'm excited to see how it does. I think it's going to perform really well. The ZZ5 engine is a workhorse. It's quiet, it's fuel efficient. I think people are going to be pretty blown away with the performance of this boat with that much weight at this high of elevation. The reason we're making this video today is honestly because we've had a lot of people that are worried that the ZZ5 engine in a 24.5 foot boat with 5,200 pounds of stock ballast is not a big enough motor. So we're making this video to show that even though it is a smaller horsepower motor, with the torque curve and the 2-to-1 gearing on the transmission and the Opti-V Hull that's really efficient on the Centurion, that we're able to get up to speed, surf, no problem with a full crew and full ballast. So we're just gonna show you the honest results of what happens today. All right, we have the boat set up with 950 pounds here in the cockpit of the boat to essentially simulate having people just sitting in your bench seats here. And then we put 350 pounds up in the bow to simulate having a couple people up in the bow of the boat as well. So with this amount of weight, plus the 3 people that we have here on the boat, you're looking at about 2,000 pounds of extra weight. So you're talking, 10 grown adults out here. If you're taking out a bunch of teenagers, 14 to 16 teenagers, or if you got some adults and kids, yeah, you're looking 14 to 16 people that way. Pretty much a fully loaded boat out here. Let's go give it a try. All right, we're just heading out onto the lake now. Like I said on the ramp, we're gonna be running the stock ballast on this boat on top of the lead. So that's about 5,200 pounds. I've gone in, I've hit fill all. Yeah, we're looking at about 14,000 total pounds that we're gonna be pushing with this motor today. I'm super excited to see how it goes. It's glass out here, it's beautiful. We're gonna have a great day. A lot of people think this PCM ZZ5 engine isn't enough motor for this size of boat and that much weight. And really with any other brand, I would totally agree with them. If you're running a traditional flat bottom hull, it's just not going to be enough power to get the boat up on a plane to be able to surf. But with Centurion's Opti-V 2.0 deep V hull, that hull is so much more efficient with that V that it's able to get up on plane and push this amount of weight with smaller motors. That's why you see consistently the Centurions don't have to run these massive supercharged motors. Why they get better fuel economy is because of this deep V hull that we run. Even with that smaller motor, this much weight, because of the hull shape and because of the design of the Centurion, we're gonna be able to get up, surf, pull a rider, no problems. The reason why people don't think this motor is big enough is because it's a small horsepower. But let's be honest, when you're surfing, you're never reaching the horsepower curve that you're getting. You're not hitting the peak of your horsepower until you're up into those 4,700 RPMs. We're not gonna be surfing anywhere near that. And normally, most people aren't surfing anywhere near that peak of the horsepower up in the 4,500 RPM. The big thing that matters here is torque. And this motor has 405 foot-pounds of torque and is on a 2-to-1 gearing on the transmission. That gearing ratio really helps on that low end, helps you get out of the hole. It has really good hole shot. And so you're really getting great torque out of this motor, and that's what you need when surfing, not horsepower. Horsepower is great, it's a lot of fun, especially if you can say, man, my boat has 640 horsepower. It sounds awesome. But at the end of the day, your torque and torque curve is way more important when surfing than your horsepower is. If we look at boats on the ocean, they typically have a really deep V hull. The reason they do that is they need to be able to cut through the water really efficiently. With Centurion's Opti-V 2.0 hull, you have about 20 degrees of dead rise at the transom of the boat. So dead rise is the amount of V in the hull at the transom, the very back of the boat. Other brands have 3 to 5 degrees of dead rise. So with that deep V hull, it's like trying to push a butter knife or a sharp knife through water versus a piece of plywood. The plywood just has tons of drag. The water isn't displaced versus, you know, a knife or an axe going through wood. The V displaces the water. It has somewhere to travel. There's way less drag. So the boat with the deep V hull is actually doing a lot more work for you than the engine is. And that's why on a flat bottom hull, the engines have to work a lot harder, because just like a piece of plywood trying to push it through the water, there's tons of drag, there's nowhere for the water to go. So you need a lot bigger motor to push that style of boat. Centurion also uses a surf tab system versus a gate system. So a tab system works with the hull. So it's gonna be on the bottom of the boat. Depending on which side you're surfing on, the plate's gonna go down, list the boat slightly to the side that you're surfing on, versus a gate system, which goes out the side of the boat. Anyone knows if you're driving down the road, you got your hand out the window in your car and your hand's like this, move smooth. When you go like this, you could feel that drag. Same exact thing with a gate system. The gate system pops out the side, creating a lot more drag, which is gonna mean that your motor has to work harder and less fuel efficient, as well as it's gonna be harder to get up to speed with added drag. The plate system is working with the hull, with that deep V, to minimize drag, but help create a really efficient and a really big surf wave. We're in neutral right now. I got everything filled up to 100 except for the offside. We're gonna be doing a surf right wave here. I like to run a little bit of offset on these boats, so we'll turn the surf right system on here. I'm gonna just set up kind of a normal wave that we have on the boat, which is just a little bit of the center tab engaged about 30, maybe 35, side tap at 75, ballast, everything at 100 minus 80 on the opposite side. We're gonna throttle down here. I have cruise control set to 11.2 miles an hour. I expect us to run 3,400 RPMs, 3,500 RPMs while we do this, even with this amount of weight, maybe even less. So let's check it out. We'll go from neutral here. Let me slow down for a second, and then we're gonna get up to speed. Dang, still pretty good hole shot. That's gonna pull someone out of the water really easy, and we're already at speed. Like, that had no issues at all getting up to speed. Absolutely fantastic surf wave there. It's really quiet too. I could easily talk with Brody if he's all the way in the back, like no problem at all. Like, I can hear you really well. We're surfing about 3,400 to 35. It's kind of jumping between 34 and 35, 11.2 miles an hour. The motor's not struggling at all. I'm actually really impressed with how quiet it is. This is awesome. You're gonna be able to get up to surf speeds actually no issue at all. Yeah, we're dropping down to 3450 right now, 35. So kind of like I said, in that 34, 3500, super duper quiet and an awesome surf wave. We're running this side, so I'm gonna go ahead and swap everything over here. We're gonna come to a stop here, turn around, and then we're gonna swap over to a surf left side here. Okay, we got surf left turned on. We got full ballast, minus 20% on the opposite side that we're surfing on. Pretty normal surf wave setup here, surf left, 11.2 miles an hour. We're gonna go to the main screen here, and we're gonna see how long, again, it takes to get up to speed on this opposite side. So we're at 0 miles an hour right now. I mean, that has literally no issues getting up to speed whatsoever. We actually sped up on this side a little bit, so I'm doing 11.4, 75, and 45. And we're still surfing right at 3,500 RPMs with an absolutely beautiful wave. Even if you wanna get up to like, create a really long wave, wanna surf a little bit faster, let's bump it up to like 12 miles an hour here. Boats catching up to that speed, no issues. And you got that nice long surf wave now. We're doing 12 miles an hour, 3,600 RPMs. Still really quiet, so the motor's not working too hard, and it's just a really quiet motor. Even going to a really steep wave right now, we're pushing like 3,600 RPMs at 11.2 miles an hour. Motor's still really quiet, still has plenty of power to it. All right, so Brody's getting ready to get out in the water right now. The big thing that we want to test here is we want to see how it pulls him out of the water as a surfer, because we know that getting up out of the water can be a challenge for some people, and you don't want to be dragging him for a long time. So you want to make sure that it's able to pull him up really easily with full ballast and all the lead in the boat. So that's what we're going to do next. All right, we're neutral right now. We got Brody out in the water. We're going to pull him up and see how it does with full ballast, same settings that we had earlier. And we're gonna get him pulled up. You ready, Brody? I felt like absolutely no issue on the boat whatsoever. Got up to speed super easy. The wave's already formed. He's already surfing and let go of the rope. Even with all the weight in the boat, with all the lead, full ballast, yeah, Brody's saying it was super easy, no problem getting up. And it's still quiet. I'm running a pretty aggressive surf wave here for Brody. So I'm at 0 on the center tab, which is a more aggressive wave, slowed it down a little bit, and we're running 3550 on RPMs right now. I'm doing 11.2. We're even bumping up the speed to 11.4 now for Brody. Make it a little bit longer for him. All right, for this video, we're gonna have Brody start on the opposite side that he normally surfs on. I'm gonna have him really drag and really put his weight back and try and push against the boat essentially as we pull him up. So let's see how it does this time. Throttle down. I mean, we're already up to surf, like he's really dragging and we're already up at surf speeds. Still got him up, no problem. Like we were at 11.4 within a couple of seconds. Full surf wave. The new NV243 absolutely crushes it. The ZZ5 motor has got all the power in the world. I got 1,300 pounds of lead in here, full ballast, aggressive surf wave. We're surfing at 3,500 RPMs. It's super quiet. All right, Brody, you just got done surfing. You got pulled up. What did you think? Did it pull you up? Did it do good with all the weight in the boat and fully loaded? What were your thoughts?
Yeah, you know, having been behind the RI series with the ZZ6, even the supercharged motor, this boat definitely picked me up. It pulled me out of the water, no problems at all. Even then, like when I was really leaning against the rope and trying to like fight and make the boat struggle, it still got up to speed super quick and waveformed super quick and had plenty of push. It was awesome. So
that's awesome. Yeah, even with that, you know, smaller horsepower motor, this motor has all the torque in the world. It's gonna be able to get your bigger riders up and out of the water. I even got to get out behind the boat. I'm 6'4", 240, so I'm not a small guy. I had this exact same experience. It pulled me up nice and easy, even with all the weight in the boat. So the PCM ZZ5 and the NV243 are the perfect pairing together. The Opti-V 2.0 Hull paired with that ZZ5 gets you up and out of the water super easy, whether you have 10 people on the boat, 3 people on the boat, or 14 people on the boat. This has enough power to get you up and surfing, no issues. All right, so the last thing I just want to check out today is cruising speed with a full crew. I want to make sure that you can get up, cruise at 33, 34 miles an hour, so that way if you need to cruise across the lake for a little bit. So let's get it up to speed and see what the cruising speed is. It's up to speed, nice and easy. Pretty typical for a surf boat, doing about 31, 32 when you're at this elevation with a full crew, but it's cruising, no problems at all at this speed. All right, guys, we just finished up on the NV243 up here at Jordanelle. Again, this is about 6,200 feet of elevation. We had 1,300 pounds of lead in there. We had 3 riders, and then we had the full stock ballast. And honestly, I was super happy with how the boat performed. It got out of the water super easy. It surfed at low RPMs. It was really quiet. It was plenty of motor and plenty of torque for this boat, even at this high of elevation and a full crew. If you want to learn more in depth about torque curves, horsepower, we have another video that Mitch did that will break all of that down. It is the engine video that's specifically about the PCM ZZ5. You can find that on our YouTube. I would highly recommend going in and checking that out so you can learn a little bit more of the specifics behind why torque is more important than horsepower. You know, the ZZ5 might not be for everyone. If you're consistently going out with 16 people at 6,000 plus feet of elevation, then yeah, the ZZ6 motor might be the better option for you. But if you're consistently going out with 10, 12, maybe even 14 people, then the ZZ5 is a great option for you. You don't need to go spend more money just because of a number on a spec sheet. If you're still not sure about the ZZ5 in an NV series boat, then come experience it for yourself. Call us, DM us, or message us, and we'd be happy to set up a demo so you can feel the power of the ZZ5 and experience it for yourself. Thanks for joining us, guys, for this video on the ZZ5 in the NV series. And always remember to go check out any other videos we have. Thanks, guys, and stay awesome.